Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, live on K-Wings Let's Plays. This is the full walkthrough and the final case. The 10th case. The final case of the game starts today. It's very exciting. And, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And special shoutouts to Capcom for providing a copy of this game for review, walkthrough, and live streaming purposes. So, the final chapter is about to commence, and I'm excited. Everything is about to finally fall into place. At least that I believe that's what's going to happen. So, oof. Here we go. The final chapter. Oh, it's literally just called the final chapter.
The Resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodou.
Oh, that's what it's called? Ooh. Kind of hard to write. Oh, there's no cutscene! Come on!
You could just call it Ryunosuke's Resolve.
Oh, I mean, we just saw that Sholmes and his partner were going out. They could have done, like, a fun little... Oh, Iris isn't writing stuff right now. She's kind of doing things. Okay, November 3rd, 9:14 a.m. Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber.
Yep, great to see you guys in the chat. Hope everyone's day is going great today.
So the time has finally come. Today, we unravel everything. Probably not. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Susie. Susie.
Thanks for the super chat, Thaddeus. You're breathtaking.
Miss Susie.
Hmm.
Ah!
Hiya! Susato takedown. Oh no! What's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo?
Really? Really? You have to ask yourself what's the matter? Alright. Nothing. I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but...
Thank you, Soul Flare, for the super chat. You're breathtaking. And thanks for all the super chats earlier today, guys, in the other one. Alright, thank you so much, Soul Flare. I misspelled thank you, but you get the point. I'm so sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but I should let you down.
Except you did let him down, but...
I will throw you down.
Would you mind helping me up on my feet, then?
Oh, dear. I'm really very sorry, Ryunosuke. Sorry, guys, when I try to type and talk in the chat, but thank you so much for the super chats, guys. Soul Flare and Thaddeus.
Susie isn't her usual self at all today, but that's hardly surprising, I suppose. Based on just finding out her father is the partner of the world-famous detective, not to mention...
Ah, good morning, sir.
Huh? Ah! Lord Van Zeeks! Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. Ah, what? Did I just hear that correctly? What? Oh, no, nothing. I just, hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you. But his words are, like, almost, jovial today. Okay. In fact, he wasn't, been very Reaper-like at all since this all began.
Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo?
Good point. The Reaper. I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my tactic acceptance of that, pseudium. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all of these.
But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zeeks.
It's only because serious crimes in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. Huh? What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. Oh! That having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod. To wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of law, could not. Ah, yeah, I've heard that story too. I suppose that's believable. Yes, when I lost him. Flashback. I felt as though I'd lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less. Aww. I feel bad for him. His older brother. Even if I knew it was just an illusion. Just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public.
He was obviously extremely important to you, Lord Clint Van Zeks.
Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't start... I know you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say these. But I cannot see... I can see it in your eyes, the burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Coming from you, that's a compliment. Don't let it get to your head. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Uh-oh. Oh, it's Iris. When did you get here?
Oh!
I bought you one of my special blends. Harley loves it. He says it helps him to clear his head.
I thank you. Oh, wait, she's gonna give him tea?
Oh!
That's surely the first and last time I've ever seen a sight like this. Wait, she has a crush on him? Okay.
I don't know.
You seem different today, Iris.
Oh!
Sort of subdued, I suppose?
I am not!
Oh, what happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Seiss' laboratory. Alright then. Whoops.
Alright then. Good luck to you both.
And also, guys and girls, if you're not getting your YouTube notifications, please sign up for our newsletter. YouTube notifications for this channel never work. They're not giving them. They will never give them. If you get it, it will be a miracle. Please go to KWingsLet'sPlays.com for any notifications that you actually want to get. If you do not wish to get notifications, then by all means, click the notification button from YouTube. But if you would like to get the notification, please join our newsletter.
I have to make a move now.
Oh, you're not staying?
I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings.
Well, I like to cheer you on, obviously.
Obviously, okay.
But I've got loads to get ready.
Get ready? For what?
Oh, yes. Would you please? I'll take this.
Huh? Isn't that one of your little dolls that's usually dangling from the knapsack?
So cute.
Yes, it's a lucky charm. Little Harley that I made once.
Aw, a Hurley. It looks more like a Harley to me. It does.
Hairly.
Hairly, oh.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull the little Harley's ears as hard as you possibly can.
Huh? What? Pull his ears? Okay.
Thanks, Drago, for putting that link in the chat for our newsletter. You're breathtaking, Drago. Thanks everyone for watching. You guys are breathtaking today.
That's right. It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it.
Drago. There we go. Thank you, Drago. Iris's lucky charm has been entered into the court record.
Biggest elf.
Biggest elf.
You think that?
I mean, you think that all we'll need is luck, Ryunosuke?
Huh?
I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom, and it seemed very different to normal.
Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all these stops. What does that mean?
Birthday party for Van Zeks?
Birthday party for Van Zeks.
A little hat.
Oh no.
What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris? What about Mr. Sholmes?
I don't know. He was out all night. And he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning.
Oh, I see.
Was the Professor Mikotoba out all night, do you think, Miss Susie?
Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently, they didn't come back in their rooms last night at all.
They?
Father and Judge Goku, I mean.
Judge Goku?
That's right. Goku is a judge in this game. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. Perhaps Goku was training.
I can be a great judge. Everyone just underestimates me because of the way I speak. Ha!
All right, counsel for the defense and defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once. Thank you very much.
Good luck, Reno. Good luck, Susie.
What about me? Ah, yes. Thank you, Iris.
And you, Mr. Reaper. I hope it goes well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate the kindness. And the tea was delicious. Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing.
Oh, I'm so glad.
We must go inside now, Lord Van Zeks.
All right, here we go. The final chapter starts. Lord Van Zeks has always been a formidable prosecutor, and I've had to lock horns with in court quite often. But not today. Today, I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Kazuma Asogi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. Ooh, final reckoning is a good name.
Yeah.
I just
The
have
final reckoning.
the final chapter starts.
It's the final countdown. Okay.
3rd of November, 9:30 a.m. Old Bailey Courtroom.
Judge Goku presiding. That's right, Paratrooper Earl.
Judge Goku.
It feels even more oppressive in here than yesterday. What's going on? There's this cold stare piercing me like knives from all sides today.
Ah!
Huh?
Mr. Naruhodo, look!
Ah! What? Lord Strongarm?
Oh my gosh!
Oh, this can't be good.
What if he's evil, though?
Kazuma must have known beforehand. But the judge! The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, the events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. Oh, and one over which I, Mal Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority.
What if you're evil?
What?
I don't trust you. I don't trust this guy.
The 6 jurors' flames just... As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of the justice system assembled here to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, the collection of your acolytes, Lord the Strongheart. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Van Zeks. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother Clint, in fact. Don't speak the name of my brother! In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session for the trial of Baron von Zeks, who officially stands accused of murder. Consuls for the prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed?
That guy is a creepy.
The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There were a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those, clandestine operations, he had an accomplice. Mr. Daily Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification, and present himself from the capital in order to establish a credible alibi for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work, when in fact he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation, because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at the Barclay prison, he abetted the convicts' escape.
I don't believe he did.
Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Sinners. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the Red-Headed League as well. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed one day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had been not wound. The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord. Oh, really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Asogi. Thank you. I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She's confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. Huh? It's entirely possible that the Inspector Gregson was killed on the 31st of October, the day before his body was discovered. I have an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details. But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday, that the time of death was 5 p.m. on the 1st of November. There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however, Your Honor. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled. That's out of the question. There are no refrigerator devices in that part of London, large enough to accommodate a human corpse. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Friends of Street incident. It would indeed, yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities. I do sense that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities. Scotland Yard put an enormous effort in investigating that precise matter yesterday. Huh? I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls its first witness now. Please be a girl, please be a girl, please be a girl. Yes!
What happened to the judge? We don't know.
I'm on a sabbatical. I've been replaced by the, I'm here in the court. I'm just hanging out in the, concession stands with my popcorn. Hanging out with Mr. Holmes and the like. It's a great time. Because I don't have to be on the bench. State your name and occupation for the court, please.
Inspector Gina Lestrade, reporting. Raper sensitive Scotland Yard.
Oh, wait, what? Repper?
What? A self-conferred rank, but never mind. Gina, again? Oh, great.
I don't know what she said. Repper sensitive?
I don't know.
What's your problem, Odo? Oh, what's with that Gina again? Look, eh?
Huh? What?
The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did.
Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean?
He got me out of the back slums of the East End, and he took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here, speaking for him. Oh, Gina.
Right, all out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all that he had his arm twisted by Sholmes. Nope.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew.
He knew what?
So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it is that it says in your report.
Coming right up, sir.
Yay! I get to rest for a second.
Witness testimony. The victim's movements.
All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook and had a load of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods deal that day. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too.
Okay. Thank you, Amber.
Welcome.
Smuggled goods? What?
I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in this book.
Tobacco, tea, spices, medicine. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. Ow. It's well known that they've disposed of regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating on those black markets. It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority without the Yard's knowledge. And do you think there were dealings that were taking place this time? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club, and on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter. That can't be! We haven't heard anything about any of this. Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question the accused, Baron von Zeks, was present.
No.
That would be very significant testimony, then.
I don't believe it.
Oh my, but Lord Van Zeks has made no mention of this at all.
In short, Lord Van Zeks has ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well then, counsel for the defense. Begin your cross-examination. Oh boy.
Pretty says, I'm calling it Ryunosuke is a murderer. Thank you for that input, Brady.
Ryunosuke? Okay. The victim's movements.
All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told.
And Gaming Case says that that Judge Goku was relieved of duty for being incompetent.
Aw, come on, guys. I'm not incompetent. I'm just, mostly competent.
So, you follow orders, do you, Gina?
Nah, not me. I mean, I'm above all that. See?
What?
I don't need to follow orders.
Oh, what? What?
The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips, or go give Toby's grub. That kind of thing.
So, errands more than orders, then. This detective is still an apprentice, after all.
Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. I didn't find much at first,
Okay.
but a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook.
So, you went through the Inspector Gregson's things, eh?
Yup. As part of the independent Lestrade investigation.
I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative.
So, I snuck into his office when no one was about. 'Cause if anyone at the yard had seen me going in there, they'd have taffed me straight on the street.
This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more like something else. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook.
You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and a trusty assistant, Inspector Toby. Chief Inspector Toby to you. We found it hidden in one of his desk drawers that had a full sputum.
That's impressive.
So then I went to hide myself when no one could find me, so I could have a butcher's at what was written on it. 'Cause if anyone at the yard had found me out, they'd have taffed me straight on the street.
Ah!
I've given it now, though, ain't I? And if it weren't for me, it wouldn't have been found at all. It's true. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled
Hold it! Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place?
Yep. It was all there in the boss's notes, it was. Let's see if I can remember.
As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club. Right, yeah, I remember, but I was hoping to find out the name of the club. That won't be necessary. Huh? What?
Why?
It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in futures. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings.
Oh, I don't know what the fuss is about. It's right here. All I've got to do is just read it out.
Hey!
And all I could do, I've got his reading game buttoned up now.
No. Let's not do that.
I can't show you what I can do. Go on, what's the harm?
The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. I could try to find out. What should I do?
Insist.
Why not? Okay, this is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential.
No,
So,
no one's gonna know.
there shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine.
No.
No, my lord, the prosecution has no objection. Oh. Kazuma? What? There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings. However, it's not yet been established that he was the one that It was not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Oh.
Yes! Right then. I get to show off my reading skills now.
Oh boy.
Watch, I'm gonna read this for y'all. I mean, yeah, you.
Okay.
All you blokes. Apparently, the smuggled goods deal was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse.
Hold it! The Grouse? What sort of club is that? Whoops. Sorry.
I ain't got the foggiest. Clubs ain't exactly my thing. But I'm kind of curious.
They're not places where a foreign student like you would be readily admitted. Have you looked into the mirror recently, pal?
I'll tell you what. Me and Chief Inspector Toby could go in undercover.
Could you, though?
I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find out while I was in there.
I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings were going to take place, is it?
Yeah, it's got to be. That's what the lower rank detectives at the yard reckon.
Says the even lower ranking detective. Okay.
Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet.
Okay. So how did Inspector Gregson come to find out about that in the case?
Well, that's a question, ain't it? And I'm just an apprentice, so...
And why didn't he inform Scotland Yard of his findings?
Yeah, that's what I was asking myself. 'Cause, you know, I'm just an apprentice and all.
When it suits you, yes, yes.
Anyway, the point is, something went on in that club, no question.
You can't say that for certain, though, surely. She just did.
What matters most is, there's witness...
Hold it! Lord Van Zeeks was at the club. He was. Detectives who visited the club yesterday to make inquiries have confirmed it. Several members report having seen the accused being admitted to the room in question as a guest. It looks like there's no disputing that he was there then. Blast.
We all know that Lord Van Zeeks was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he'd already discovered the inspector's secret notebook then.
Which led him to the club, you mean? Maybe. Presumably, then, there's also witnesses who can testify that Gregson was there? None have been identified at this time, no. So the all-important victim wasn't seen at this mysterious club.
Ahoy! Why ain't you asking Inspector Lestrade? Eh?
Huh? So that's all I've got to work with, huh? Gina's not holding anything back with the ice-cold stares of hers either.
I really don't know what to make of all of this, Ryunosuke.
Lord Van Zeeks told us that he was investigating the inspector, though, but he never once mentioned that he met the inspector on the day before the incident.
You don't think Lord Van Zeeks could have been lying to us, do you?
That's not the only way to explain this, though.
You look cute today.
Thank you.
Oh!
If everything Lord Van Zeeks has told us is true, then there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere.
You mean there are details we've yet to uncover?
Exactly.
Susato takedown?
No! A clue, perhaps, that even Gina hasn't noticed. That's what we should be looking for.
Come on, Ryunosuke, you want another Susato takedown. All y'all detectives aren't supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. I mean, they are supposed to follow orders. Oopsies. But little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings in it. Apparently, the smuggled goods deal was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called the Grouse. Gentleman's club called the Grouse.
Do we have...
Well, what does it say on the notice board? Do they have it, or... I don't know.
I don't know.
How would we even... I guess we could examine it. There are details of a whole raft of cases dating back to years on here, aren't they?
The paper from 10 years ago is browning with age. Look!
Out of interest, the most recent thing appears to be his newspaper cutting here.
Oh! It's the same Red-Headed League advertisement that Mr. Sholmes had picked out.
And do you remember there was a red hairpiece in the scene, too?
Was Inspector Gregson an exponent of the Red-Headed League, then? No. Okay, so that didn't do anything.
Well, I guess we can examine all the evidence. What about his chest?
Oh!
Maybe we can open it.
Let's have a look inside, shall we?
Grouse. That's like a kind of bird. I think. Whoa.
Oh, there is some stuff in here.
A piece of paper.
Look! There's something inside!
Oh, let's see. It appears to be a passport authorizing him to travel overseas.
Was Inspector Gregson about to go on a trip then?
Perhaps the date of departure might tell us something that was... Oh!
Huh? What is it?
It was for travel on the 31st of October, just one day before the incident.
What? Really? The passport has been entered into the court record.
So basically the day that he got killed was the day he was supposed to travel.
So Gregson went to France the day before his body was discovered? What else is in here?
Oh, he went to France and back, maybe?
Zelda, don't attack things.
Or maybe, I think because the day of the incident the day of the incident wasn't the day he was killed. He was killed the day before.
Yeah.
Maybe the blood.
Why is there blood on here? Okay.
There's the blood.
Yeah, I see the blood.
That's Gregson.
Huh. Look at this dark stain here. Do you think? Yes, it's blood, Ryunosuke.
Yes, I'm afraid so. I think it's jam. I mean blood.
I knew you were going to say that. So that presumably means...
That this was present at the scene when Inspector Gregson was killed. It's the most logical conclusion, yes.
To think Gina's been carrying this around with her. If you didn't know any better, I suppose it looks like a grease stain from all the fish and chips. No. There's no way fish and chips would leave a red grease stain like that. Alright, so we have a... Okay.
Well, it's slashed.
Yeah.
Well,
Passport.
the bunny!
Pull on the bunny.
Letter of introduction.
Oh,
Blackbird line.
what's this?
Oh, it looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. The SS Grouse, first class cabin 001. The Grouse. Yokohama departure, September 11th. London arrival, 1st of November.
Ah, that's the boat that Professor Mikotoba and Judge Goku came from on Japan, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it called at Dunkirk on the north coast of France for a night before finally arriving in Dover.
To think it's been almost a year since we arrived in Dover on our ship. Seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of the trip, don't you think?
Yes, I agree. I have mine safely in my diary.
I keep mine in my wallet, so I have it with me at all times. Oh, well, how strange. Where could it have gone?
Are you like this on purpose, Mr. Naruhodo?
Huh? Did I imagine it, or was that comment accompanied by a little sigh? The details of the letter had been added into the court record. Letter of introduction. What is this? Professor Mikotoba has wonderful handwriting, doesn't he? This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. Is it just me, or does that make me sound extremely untrustworthy?
I do wish he'd call you just a nice young man.
I'm really not sure that would help. Okay, so... anything else we can examine? Apparently, the smuggled goods deal with what happens at the Gentleman's Club. I mean, maybe we could present the, not the dismissal
What is
notice.
it? They just said that was called the Grouse right there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
The ship
The passport.
was called the Grouse. So maybe the Gentleman's Club was on the ship, or...
Let's try it. The witness' last statement exhibits a fundamental inconsistency. Not one at any British court would recognize Consul. What? Remember, this is a close court. Whatever fate befalls you in here, no one outside will ever know. Oh, crap. Okay, well, we were wrong.
That guy seems like he hates us.
Should I be wondering if I'll make it out of this courtroom alive? Darn. Okay, guys, we're a little stuck, so if you want to, help us out, feel free to. We're both looking at the chat. Just, you know, you could tell us what to present, but don't give us spoilers about what happens after we
Basically,
present.
what Luke is saying is, feel free to guess, but if you've already played this, then please don't tell us everything before we figure it out.
Yeah.
But just FYI, some of you guys are just really good at guessing. Like, a lot of people are really good at guessing here. You know, Candle in the Dark, Droggle, OH, a lot of you guys are super good at just guessing what it is. The ticket says VG Shine.
The ticket?
The ticket, not the password, says Ethan. Yep.
So, present the letter of introduction?
Actually, most of you guys are really good at guessing.
Okay, we'll try the letter of this.
Objection.
Ah,
The
okay,
ticket.
there we go. I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted.
You're a jerk.
Seriously! Is there a mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening at the club called the Grouse? Well, maybe he was wearing his mask when he went inside the gentleman's club. They admit people like Char.
Yeah.
The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet.
I don't know why Kazuma's being so mean to us.
He is older than us. Ryunosuke is 23 and Kazuma is supposed to be like 25, something like that. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that, Ryunosuke? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on the 31st of October may not have been a gentleman's club at all. You're showing very irrelevant attitude towards our country's police force, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it? A steamship! You think it's a ship? I have the evidence to prove it. Right here!
Whoa!
Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. Nope, the other side, my lord. Be more specific next time.
Wow.
This would appear to be a ticket for passage upon a steamship, yes. The SS Grouse. Grouse?
Objection!
So there's a steamship named the Grouse, huh? That happens to share a name with the club? But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there. Huh? How? Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port? The ship arrived at Port of Dover on the 1st of November. Yeah, the day on which the sounds like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, the 31st of October, when the victim was on his mission, that ship hadn't docked yet on British shores. That would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging.
Objection!
The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the day in question. Then show the evidence for that assertion. Going back and forth. Very well. What? In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence in the court now. Evidence that substantiates your claim that the victim was investigating the ship on the 31st of October.
Well,
The passport?
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, let's go with the passport.
Take that!
Passport! What's this? A passport for travel issued to the victim? Dated the 31st of October. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. What? Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Order! Order! The document is for the passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized. The day before, the ship was to arrive at Dover. It docked on the northern coast of France for the night.
According to my father, who was on board at the port of Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, France. What could possibly have taken the victim there? I'm impressed, Ryunosuke and Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport.
What?
What? You mean you knew about this? The prosecution's strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of the Scotland Yard's investigations on the line the prosecutor has been asked to follow. But, personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecutor's office is trying to hide something. What? And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe something to be. What are you playing at, Prosecutor Asogi? A courtroom is a form for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson was secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper. The Reaper?
Nani?
Nani?
Wait, who was carrying out a mission? Oh.
Order! Order! What on earth are you saying, Consul? The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper! So, you're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination.
To kill somebody.
What?
I think he tried to kill Van Zeeks.
Barak von Zeks never carried out any actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast-iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice. And you claim that was Inspector Gregson? Hold it!
What the heck do you think you're saying, eh? My boss would never have done nothing like that.
And yet, when you consider all the facts, it makes all perfect sense.
No, it can't be.
We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper.
Even so, there's no way that the person giving him his orders was Lord Van Zeks. No, the true Reaper is somebody else. Alright, Baron Von Zeks is not the Reaper. A predictable response from someone who's advocating for the man, yes. And even if it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper, the suggestion that he went aboard the ship on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all. Oh? You have some solid reason for doubting the assertion you do, Consul? Absolutely, Your Honor. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. Professor Mikotoba and Judge Goku were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. What's so funny? You're right, of course. No suspicious deaths were reported on board the ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. What? Gregson did board the ship that night with the intention of dispatching his mark. But his mission ended in failure. Failure? It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? Inspector Gina Lestrade.
Eh? What?
The victim's notebook that you read, an excerpt from earlier. What does it contain? That doesn't contain details of That doesn't contain secret details of secret investigations at all. Live, people, live. It does describe 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out only by the Reaper of the Bailey.
You're lying. You're lying. Even if all them bloggers were taken out and it coming, the boss weren't the Reaper. Poor Gina.
There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. You may just be an apprentice, but if you've spent any time at Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors.
I heard nothing, and I don't believe a word of it.
Then testify again as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss.
I don't...
I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook. Whoops.
They should have other people testify besides just her. It's like all the pressure is on her.
Hey, less voices for me to do. I'm happy.
Yeah, but in real life, it's
The Reaper's Notebook.
live people live.
Yep.
Yeah, this notebook does have a load of stuff about what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years. Names of victims, dates, places and stuff. And the last entry here was the 31st of October. It said Grouse for the place on the date and then the name of the mark.
Who's the name?
There was a note about him being a criminal who got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. But honest, the boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all.
Keep personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. We require only established facts here. This must be so hard for her. You can't deny it now, surely, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Huh? What can't I deny? The notebook contained the name of the final mark, and the location where the assassination would take place. That's information that the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper. Yeah! So, who was this final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the Grouse on the 31st of October.
Oh, how do you read this then?
Reading's still not her strong suit, huh?
That ain't the problem, alright, Odo. It's a funny name, it ain't English, it's hard to read.
So it's someone from overseas?
Let me have a bash at it. Seishiro. Yeah, Seishiro. Jigoku.
Sashiro Jigoku.
What? It can't be!
Judge Goku.
Shishiro Goku?
But that's Judge Goku!
Shishiro Goku, certainly not an English name, you're right.
Objection!
But that can't be right, I know the judge, and I saw him the day before yesterday here in London. So I know for a fact that the man hasn't been assassinated. As I said, the Reaper failed. Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Gregson missed the chance to kill his mark and return to the British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector personally. Oh.
It's hard for me.
The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Baron von Zeks. It's an undeniable logical argument. Kazuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
Who said that? What? How did he get alcohol?
He always gets it.
Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice whilst I stand accused of murder. Lord Van Zeks! The accused has no right to speak uninvited in the court. You will return to the dock. I say nothing of whether or not I am the Reaper. That is the task of the court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl is no detective.
Eh? What? Nah, that's not right. I ain't. I'm an inspector.
The repeating rumors heard around the yard, reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony. It's particularly a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you've clearly planned. Oh? Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I'm the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself. By attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for a testimony. What did you just say?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is our chance.
Right. Be careful with the kitty. My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness. Oh. Very well. I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Then allow me to toast the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately.
How soon that guy turns on Van Zeeks after he was his top prosecutor.
At once, my lord. I know, right? Holy cow.
With friends like that, who needs enemies?
Gentle, gentle.
I don't know how to be gentle with Kitty.
Well,
She seems like she's like upset at me because her back is arched.
yeah, just let her get comfortable, and then she'll pet you. Oh, she won't pet you. You can find a
Pet
way.
me!
All right.
So I demand you pet me.
Yeah, this notebook does have it.
Hold it! In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper.
No, you and all. That ain't the only explanation, is it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret, and that notebook said what he found out.
If I may. When originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I did not object. I believe the power of intimidation in London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper.
One arm? What are you on about?
I'm getting to it. The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. There's simply no one person who could have taken them on alone. The Reaper is an organization. With you at its head. No! I had spies at the yard, keeping me abreast on Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I'd been able to check the most recent entry in this book. I knew the location. You knew it said Grouse? Or Grouse? Or whatever? Yes. Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate alone.
Ah, so that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there.
But, of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Huh? Very well then, back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook.
Fine. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? You seem a little shocked by something a moment ago.
Oh, no, it's all right. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? Maybe not.
Possibly.
Names of victims, dates and places and stuff. Oh,
Hold it! Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff. What in particular?
well, besides the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up.
What other name was that?
It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name written over again.
You mean Assassin?
Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, isn't she?
Were you even listening yesterday? Assassin. Assassin. It says it right there. Her name is Assassin.
Oh, assassin.
Yeah.
Assassin.
It's a play on words.
What? Like a color, you mean?
Yes, Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when and where they would be vulnerable and who to use to get to them. But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does not indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes. Huh? Then perhaps what it said on the passport document... permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been... clearly the assassin, who was meant to take Shishiro Goku's life? But Gina, can you confirm that? Against the final entry that listed Grouse or whatever. The Goku. What name was written?
Oh, well, that's it on the entry that we didn't have a name next to it, as it happens.
What?
It just sounded like a question mark or something, I think.
In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case. But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not?
Oh, how infuriating!
A nameless assassin.
It was Gina. No, I'm just
Miss
kidding.
Gina? No.
It said Grouse for the...
And you're saying that the mark listed was Shishiro Goku?
That's what it said. Funny name if you ask me.
Hey!
Goku, what a weird name.
Don't make me go Super Saiyan on you.
And I thought your name was odd, Naruhodou.
So pleased to have lost my crown there. What? I don't know.
He's king of a weird name.
Mr. Goku is the preceding judge of Japan's Supreme Court. I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago, studying international law and diplomacy under our tutelage, Lord Strongheart. That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say. So Lord Strongheart was Judge Goku's mentor? If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now.
10 years ago, after that fateful case.
Precisely. In the aftermath of the Professor case, his reputation was reparation?
Repatriation. Whoa.
Whoa,
Repatriation. That's what I'm gonna say, it says.
Let's say his departure. In the aftermath of the Professor case, his departure was organized immediately. I think that's what it means, I don't know. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook.
I think it was possible, but the moodiness got even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking.
We're all pondering things, Gina.
Hold
it!
People said your Goku impression was cute.
Thanks, guys.
What do you mean, a criminal? Goku's no criminal. Maybe an idiot, but no criminal.
Well, don't ask me. I don't know nothing about it.
Oh, do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Goku did appear in court here in Britain at one point. It was related to the Professor case, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course, you're right. Shishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt so he would, stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and, well, actually managed to break the witness stand. He also said some, contemptuous words about the British Empire for which he was charged. Whoops.
It's okay, Zelda. You can be happy.
It was a pitiful situation, yes. I had forgotten all about it, but I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens. You did? Yes, it was considered to be an adjunct to the Professor proceedings, you see. But he was acquitted after being told to make a reparation for the damage caused to this stand. And there you have it. Of what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court. guilty or innocent alike. What? No! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Goku was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after the trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on, man, that's absurd! To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd, killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly the rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane person's comprehension. But... Objection! Oh, well...
Objection! Right. I've had just about enough of this.
Gina?
All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people is cobblers. Come on, Hodo.
Yes?
Why aren't you saying nothing? Why? Why aren't you yelling out objection or something?
What?
You've got to find a flaw. You usually do. Someone's lying here. No question. You've got to work out who it is. Please. For the boss.
Yeah, I don't know if Gregson was really the bad guy or not. That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
When this trial's over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Miss Lestrade. Is that clear?
I've had it with the lot of you. It's lies every breathing place. You look in this world, isn't it? Well, I've had enough. Gina.
So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind.
To do what, Mr. Naruhodo?
There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd.
Oh, do you mean?
I'm not gonna let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears.
Come on, Odo. Help. You gotta find a flaw somewhere.
I have no idea.
Examine the cut on the briefcase, everyone's saying.
Examine the
There's
cut
a
on
cut on the briefcase.
the cut on the briefcase?
People want you to look at it.
Have you seen this huge gash across the side of the trunk here? It's gone right through the leather and into the metal behind.
Gosh, for a metal chest like this to have been so badly damaged, whatever made the gash must have struck the side of the trunk with considerable force.
I wonder how it happened. I mean, yeah, we looked at it, so now what? Maybe... Oh, maybe we can open it and see if there's something inside of it? Let's have a look inside again.
It's pretty sad when a pickpocket is the most honest person in the court.
I know, right? Whoa! Do you see that? There's something stuck in the side of the trunk there. It's glinting.
It looks like a fragment of metal of some sort, but it's wedged in so tightly I can't remove it.
Well, don't cut yourself. You better leave it, I think.
We can get it out.
I mean...
What about the bottles? What are those bottles?
It doesn't matter what the bottles are.
What about everything else?
Everything else can't be looked at. Okay, so we examined it. Now what?
There's a piece of metal, so what would have caused that?
A sword, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
A sword. I keep thinking that if they did try to kill Judge Jigoku, that if he had had sword training, he could have killed the Reaper himself in self-defense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But then he probably would have said, "Sword tip," says Stroggle.
I can't find anything out of place with this.
Everyone's saying try her last statement, but I don't know.
Try pressing her last statement? There's little bunny ears.
What a charming little rabbit version of Mr. Sholmes! Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? Probably. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are veritably boring into the poor doll's ears.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now?
Yeah, guys, and also, if you guys have already played this, try not to give us spoilers, but feel free to guess if you guys haven't played it. I'm sure that we'll find out when the time is right. To become a proper gentleman, you must learn stoic patience.
But I want to know now! Okay. I mean, I guess we can try to press this.
Hold it!
I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve.
Eh?
What do you mean? Well, amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency. What? An inconsistency? Eh.
Really? Odo?
I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said by...
I don't know. I mean, maybe male Strongheart. He seems like the most jerky person.
Well, the only thing I can think of... Let's just spitball here for a second.
I don't know.
I was just going over something in my brain. He said that Van Zeks had been plotting to kill everybody that was on the witness stand, right? If that's the case, and Gregson supposedly was the Reaper, why is Gina still alive?
Yeah, he obviously didn't want to kill everyone, because if Gregson really was going to kill everyone, wasn't he alone with Gina, like, all the time? He could have easily killed her and then been like, oh my gosh, I just discovered Gina's dead. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just found her. Like, I'm so... she was supposed to meet me and give me coffee, and then I found her at the coffee shop completely dead. Like, oh my gosh. Like,
yeah, because, I mean, he would have ample time to kill her.
He could have killed her at any time.
Also...
Any time at all.
Natsumi was still alive. All the way over in Japan.
He was with... Yeah, Gregson was with Gina all the time.
Let's try Kazuma. By you, Kazuma! Me? What do you mean? Is some attempt at filibuster, Consul? Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you'll realize what you've done. Well then, Consul, go ahead.
Yep, exactly, Ethan. If he wanted to kill them all, Gina would have been dead.
What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency in something Prosecutor Asogi said?
Gina's alive. What evidence suggests that?
I mean, it looks like Gregson was attacked with a sword, not a gun. I don't know. I'll try the trunk.
I don't understand.
Take that!
Well, this. It's the trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson. A metal construction, is it? Certainly very heavy. Oh, what's this? Bloodstain? Are you relatively fresh? Huh?
What? You mean that ain't grease? From all the boss's fish and chips?
No, Gina. Fish, fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed. That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk, hoping to sell it.
But I found it! Me! With me nose for trouble?
Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we're talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma. Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Uh-oh. Wait, Kazuma killed him? So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport?
Gosh! What the? Oh my gosh!
But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma.
How did he know?
On the 31st of October, where exactly were you?
Oh my gosh!
No way! No way!
Oh my gosh!
At the port of Dunkirk on board the SS Grouse.
What?
Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke? Kazuma, what did you...
Oh my gosh.
I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was on the ship, then can only have been for one purpose.
Oh no! Mr. Naruhodo, surely you don't think...
Come on, Ryunosuke, you know the rules. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So, as it stands, you've proved nothing.
No, you knew he had the case.
Kazuma.
You knew he had the case, dude.
Are you challenging me to prove it beyond reasonable doubt, my friend? That you were there that day in the same place as the inspector? He was there with Gregson? There's a clue that we've overlooked, a secret that the trunk can tell us. I can't be sure at this point, but I'll need to verify it. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm gonna be right. The accusation being made is deeply disturbing. Nevertheless, we must test it. The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk this alleged clue is to be found. Where is the evidence that Prosecutor Asogi met with Inspector Gregson?
His sword. Check Asogi's sword in his sheath. Tell him to take his sword out of his sheath.
I would say probably... Can we open it?
Yeah. Maybe he defended Goku.
Let's have a look inside, shall we? Man, this is super intense. This is probably one of the most intense Ace Attorney cases ever. Alright, here we go.
Got it!
There's a small piece of a metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here, like the tip of a blade.
Eh? A blade?
Kazuma, slung around your waist as ever today, is the esteemed blade Kurama. Of course it is. Won't you draw it here in the courtroom for all to see? Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer. Bailiff! Watch Prosecutor Asogi like a hawk. That won't be necessary. The sword is damaged!
Oh no!
The tip is broken! What? If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed, Kazuma? No way! Expertly done, Ryunosuke. That's a point to you, and a well-deserved. Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asogi? Yes, on October 31st, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. So the additional person authorized to travel was me. And the mission was the assassination of the Mark. What?
Wait, he hired...
You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Goku? Let me make one thing perfectly clear.
He didn't kill him.
I have killed no one. Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk. But I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. You were never gonna do it?
We can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Judge Goku arrived safely in London the following day.
So he said...
On the 31st of October, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. There we boarded the ship and made for the cabin deck as indicated in the plan.
So you went to Judge Goku's cabin?
Exactly. He wasn't there, though. We decided to wait, but you've already told us you had no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life, so I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at the boarding house in town and returned to England the following morning. A boarding house in Dunkirk? My signature will be registered in that book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Goku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in the room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger and end his wretched agent's life. Holy cow. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder.
Objection!
But if he did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's trunk? Yeah. I don't need to answer that. What? The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. And accordingly, I chose to exercise my right to silence on that matter. You punk! Be that as it may, the court will sequester the sword as evidence.
That's his family sword, though.
As you wish, my lord. The great sword, Kuroma, has been entered into the court record. Holy cow. We must take immediate action now to verify whether Shishiro Goku remains unharmed. What? Remains unharmed? I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. What? How did you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise. You don't mean to say that you think Judge Goku may have been killed? The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Zeks? If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you.
He still thinks it's Lord Fancy.
Oh my gosh. Order! Order! We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. Now? Guests of the symposium, you have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within an hour, we will have to assume the worst.
Oh no! Judge Goku!
No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only just arrived in the country. Except, that is, for the Reaper. wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago. Gina's still alive, you guys. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake. My lord! I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Goku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. Me? The court is adjourned for 30 minutes. Holy crap!
I don't know what to say. What does he mean I don't have to answer that? Like,
I have no idea.
Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin? I feel as though I'm in a nightmare. Well, actually, he never killed anyone.
I can hardly believe it either, but on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories.
Unless he killed Gregson. I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to the Judge Goku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control.
I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case scenario, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do about wait now. What are our options?
Well, I mean, I would suspect Asogi of killing him.
No, I don't think Kazuma did it.
Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear.
Of course! The little Mr. Shomes doll that Iris gave us.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today,
Oh, Zelda.
then just pull little Harley's ears as hard as you possibly can.
Perhaps now is the time. What should I do? Pull the ears? Pull it! Why not? Here it goes then. I'm gonna pull it.
Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo.
No looking back. Heave! Ow!
That scream sounded like Mr. Shomes.
Mr. Shomes, where are you? Here, my dear fellow, here. It's the doll talking?
Pull the ears again, Mr. Naruhodo, as hard as you can.
All right then, I'll pull with all my strength into it. Heave! Oh, pull my ear, dear fellows. You don't need to pull my ear off. Mr. Shomes. Whoops.
Mr. Shomes, where are you?
Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin aboard the SS Grouse. The ship? She left Dover last night after her final pieces of cargo were loaded. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour. You've taken a ship to France?
Walkie-talkie?
Please, even my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried a cab to the station by the train of the port, in order to board this vessel in time. So, you mean you've already worked it out? That steamship was... everything really took place? Mr. Naruhodo, I pray, what is my name? Herlock Sholmes. World-famous great detective? Recited perfectly, actually. Well done. Ah!
You're a genius, Mr. Shomes. That's the only word for it.
Ow, 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 ow. Oh. Miss Susie, gently with the genius's ear, please.
Oh my, I'm ever so sorry.
If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikitoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Grouse. At Scotland Yard yesterday, when we examined that notebook and I recalled my steamship's ticket. He is Watson. And he's smarter than Sholmes, I guess. But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I convert that fact. I merely had your court-bound companions utter my name. Yes, you did, didn't you? We've just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now.
And if we're unable to present any new leads, then I'm afraid to say...
Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I made this journey. I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within half an hour. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful. Until later, then. Yes, you'll be hearing from us if we're not in touch first. I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in that mindless fashion. Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operate in that way in the first place, Sholmes? Why the deuce would I know? It was Iris's invention, not mine. Oh, ow! Will you stop that, you blasted doll?
That's cute.
Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes, we have but half an hour before Grouse puts up to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigation rapidly, we shall find ourselves in the Naples before long. Ah, yes. There are times, Mikitoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin. Okay. First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. That crewman standing in the front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. Why are you loitering here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a hard, world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you? Do not recognize world-traveling great sailor? Stroganoff when you see? Oh, he has Sholmes written on his, arm. Great detective, ha! Don't think so. Do you see that, Mikitoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine.
Sholmes.
Goodness me, is that a tattoo that says Sholmes? I must say, whilst such adoration is flattering, naturally, it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about? Leave! Leave now! How distressing my loyal devotee knows me only by my name and not my appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman, currently traveling the world around a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Ah, elementary, my dear Mikitoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship you see. We're looking for one my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Goku. There is no one here with the name aboard ship. But we know that the purchase ticket for passage... Ah, you mean Easterman. He left ship 2 hours ago. Near at Dunkirk. He said something about emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? So Shishira's realized that we're after him, has he? His cabin is one behind you. We should like to investigate it, please. No! I have orders not to let even mouse inside. Ah. Mikitoba, be a good man and draw this sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so he leaves the area. I heard everything you just said. Doesn't great detective see that even sailors have ears, both left and right? Curses! The plan is ruined! And you only have yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Holmes. Forget it. Cabin door locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside.
To chicken.
Ah. Mikitoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you?
Biff's brother! Beef Stroganoff's brother.
Opening a lock, I presume? Within a mere 5 seconds. So, if you would be so kind as to forward me the request time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner. How could I refuse such a typically unappalling request, old friend? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man, so the game is afoot.
Wow. Distract him, says
Okay.
Mark V. Great to see everyone in the chat. Hope everyone's day is going great today. If they made a toy like that, the cells that it would have. Definitely Casey's World. It's a pretty awesome toy, honestly. His name is Jikoku, not Goku. I know.
I know. It's easier to say Goku.
We just like to call him Goku.
This would appear to be an alarm bell. Ah, all heck would break loose if this thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. Set it off!
Brady says we should try using the Monado.
Here goes, then. Pardon me in advance. You! What are you doing? If we were at sea, that would be very bad problem. What is going on down there, Seaman Stroganoff? Report at once. Sorry, sir. Nothing to report. It was stupid trick. No, not by me. By world famous, not as I told you. Mr. Sholmes, now! Done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Well, I don't stand there gaping at my brilliance, Mikitoba. In we go. Oh, yes, of course. Wow. What's wrong, huh?
I just wondered if I can get, like, a sandwich and a Coke tonight so I can work on some stuff late. While you're streaming.
Good gracious. Ah, it would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. The clothes on the floor there, Holmes. They're Shishiro's without a question. Well, it seems we have just a little bit too late, then. Yes, about 2 hours or so. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may be well 2 hours' worth of clues to find in here. But that burly crewman may return at any moment, Holmes. Indeed he may, which makes this all the more thrilling.
Okay.
And that's a great place to stop.
Wow, Shomes. That he's cool.
Yep. This is very interesting, isn't it? I would actually like a spin-off game with these two. That'd be pretty fun.
Shomes and Ryunosuke?
And Mikitoba.
Oh, Mikitoba
I would
and
like
Shomes.
I would like a prequel game about like what happened.
Yeah.
It'd be really exciting.
Mikitoba, the adventures of Mikitoba and Shomes. Watson and Shomes.
Watson's and yeah, exactly. Alright, guys and gals, that is going to do it for today's episode of The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. The final chapter begins. Join us next time as we do the investigation of Goku's room. I guess Goku might not be on the up and up if he has fled the country. Thanks for watching. Thanks again, Capcom, for providing a copy of this game. We hope you guys had a blast. And the next stream will be starting up a little around 7:20 for the next exciting episode of Wario, where we'll be playing mini games. And then at 9 o'clock tonight is Batman Brave and the Bold, a Ultimate Select streams by Carlos. And he will be sponsoring all the episodes of Batman Brave and the Bold monthly.
Oh
so
my gosh.
today will be the first case of the Batman and Robin episode, and then next month will be Blue Beetle. So,
people said we were almost at a really good part in the game.
well, you'll have to wait till tomorrow, won't you? Because
I guess so.
I have to go eat some Chinese food and have some tea.
Yeah.
All right, guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. We hope you had fun. And we will see you on Wario in a little bit. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below what you thought about today's stream. And subscribe if you're new. If we entertained you and you enjoyed everything about today's live stream, make sure you subscribe.
Don't forget to watch your shorts.
Yes, watch the shorts that released today. And leave a comment as well as sharing and liking this video. Thank you, everybody, and see you in a little bit.
Alright, God bless, happy gaming. See ya.